Hey guys, Snowbeck here. I want to show you something I got. I got some the fender flares for the King Cobra. Now I know my car, my 78 is not a King Cobra, but those fender flares I think are cool, and I don't see why I can't put them on a car. So I did one side already just to make sure that my idea was right. So now I'm going to make this video and I'm going to show you how I did it. And I think personally it's the easiest way, the most permanent, the best way to put them on. You guys, somebody might have a better idea, but this is the way I think it works well. And let's go over and take a look, and I'll show you what the one side I've already did, and then we're going to show you, I'm going to show you the process of how I did it. So here's the flare, which I purchased from Classic Auto Reproductions, and like I told you before, I think they do some really nice fiberglass work. That's where I got all my spoilers and everything. So now, basically what I did was I glued this on with Bondo. And I'm going to show you how I did it. And it's not going anywhere. So, and I think just the way the design is, it's tight and it's curved. It's all the way up against the car. And once it's on there, I'll show you how I held it on so the Bondo stayed. I recommend leaving it in place for 24 hours to let the Bondo dry good and hard. And then is what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some finish sanding to get what little bit of Bondo I've got on here from just trying to fill in the gap there. And then I'll show you what I did. And then you sand it, and then you prime it, and then you just paint it right on the car just like that. So that's how I'm going to do it. It's the best way I think that would work for it. If you're going to do it on a car before you paint it, you know, there may be other things you can do. You know, if you want to drill holes underneath of it and then drill holes all the way up inside the lip of the fender well, you know, but I didn't want all them rivets and things, you know, visible. I wanted it to look like a permanent piece of the car. So that's what I did. And let's check out and see how it works. Started. Let me show you what you're going to need to put this on. And it's real simple. Basically, a floor jack or a bottle jack or some sort of a jack, something to spread your Bondo on, a can of Bondo, obviously your hardener. So you don't have to get a whole gallon, but you know, I do a lot of cars and stuff, so I got a whole gallon. I got it at a swap meet. It was shit. 15 bucks, big deal. So it's pretty nice Bondo. It works pretty well. And last but not least, this is a wood clamp. You're going to need one of those, or something, some kind of or you could use a C clamp, you know, like a automotive C clamp. I just happen to have these hanging in the shop, so these work real nice. So these are what you're going to need to do this job, and that's pretty much it, other than the flare itself. So let's check it out. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out some Bondo, and this is just a paint stick, you know, from Home Depot, whatever. We'll get a nice big old pile of Bondo on here. That smells good. Make sure you get some hardener. And really, you don't need that much hardener when you're doing this stuff. And get it mixed up real good. The whole thing should almost be like a bluish, like a green, once it's mixed up real good. And then we're going to walk over. All right. We'll mix it up a little bit more on the way over there with our spatula. All right, come on over. All right, so got our putty mixed, and just a cheap, now we're going to spread it on this part, okay? So when this goes on here, we got the jack ready, we got the clamp ready, and this is going to go on, and it's going to fit right on here, okay? So basically what you're going to want to do is, you know, you're going to want putty along here. You're going to want putty along here, here, and on the bottom. So while it's sitting here, we're gonna just kind of get it all up in there. And it don't have to be fancy, because if it spills out a little bit, then it won't matter. That's why we have these gloves on. Get some on here on the bottom. And then get it right up the sides here. Okay, so now we're going to put this up on here. Okay, you can see how it kind of fits. It goes right up against. Take your floor jack. That's a little too far. And I put a rag on this clamp so it doesn't damage the part. And then you want to slide that up on here. And then this one just kind of twists into place. So it's on there. Oop. So that's basically how I did the other side. Looks like it might need to go up just a little bit. Okay. You don't want to put that floor jack on too tight so it doesn't warp it or anything. You just want it snug on there to hold it in place. Okay. So, and then with the little bit of Bondo I had left, and you can come back in and do mix up a little more. Basically, is what I did was I took my finger, and then if there's any little bit of gaps, just like what you do with silicone when you're doing trim or something. Because this will all just sand right down. So basically, and that'll just trim right up. It'll fill the little gaps there. And then you leave that sit for 24 hours. And take the jack, pull the clamp. Just make sure you don't hit the clamp too hard. That's why I put a rag on there so it doesn't rip it up. 24 hours later, that's going to be stuck on there forever. So, thanks for watching. All right, so there you have it. That was a quick, easy way to mount them side skirts. I guess you call them side skirts, fender flares. Not really side skirts. Little King Cobra fender flares. And that's pretty much, you know, the easiest way I figured out how to do it. If you guys have some other way, then that's fine. But I think if you're restoring one of these cars and you're it's in the condition that mine is, where it's all primered and you want these on permanent, then that's how you Bondo it on there. You stick it on, and then you fill in the gap like I showed you up across there, so no water, nothing gets in the side, you know, and runs down underneath and gets stuck. So it's basically, you know, it'll almost look like it's kind of finished right onto the car. So that's kind of how I do it. You may have different ideas, like I told you before. You may want to put some screws or drill some holes and then rivet through the fender lip, and then maybe a couple self-tappers or something up through the bottom. The only thing I see problem with that is just by holding it on the fender lip and underneath, then what's going to hold it tight against the car? You know, so the reason for the Bondo and the clamp is it's tight against the car. It's right on the body lines that it was made for. So it fits perfect. So shout out to Classic Auto Reproductions. You made a nice part, It fits on my car perfectly, and I hope this video helps you guys who are looking to put this piece on there. And don't hate me because it's not a Cobra. It's just a cool looking piece on the car. And I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, tag, share, and send this video out to everybody you know. See ya.